So, hello and welcome to everybody. I want to welcome you today to Vital, Vivacious, and Visible After 50. And I have two wonderful guests today. I'm going to start by saying that whether you're on the A list or the Z list, everybody loves a bargain. And these ladies are the experts. I want to welcome Jen and Pippa from Two Cheap Blondes. I love the name of your website. And for anybody who's going to go to those websites, it's spelled TWO, Cheap
No,
Blondes.
no, TOO.
I'm sorry.
TOO, not TWO. You won't like the results on that
Thank
one.
you.
That's a completely different. That's a completely different result.
Well, when I post it, I'm going to write it out correctly. So,
Okay.
okay. So I have some wonderful questions, some questions for you today. First of all, how did you both get started in this?
You know, Pippa and I both had our own separate blogs about thrifting. Mine was more vintage, inspired. That's where I kind of would just search out for vintage clothing. And Pippa's was more of outfitting her teenage children. She has four
Oh,
teenagers
oh
from
my
the thrift
gosh.
store. And we met in the line at a Goodwill. I had been in the newspaper previous weekend. She recognized me, struck up a conversation, and we went out to lunch the next week, and we've been thrifting for the last 3 years ever since that meeting. Yeah, we immediately hit it off.
And so, how did you learn about what to look for?
I think it's a lot of trial and error. We just have probably looked at 500,000 pieces of clothing over the last 3 years, and really, truly, and you just learn to absolutely pick out a high quality fabric, natural fabrics like silks or wools or cotton, and you can really just notice whenever you're coming across a polyester and you just skip past it because usually that's not going to be your high end, high quality clothing. And you look for things that are going to stand out, a tag that's unique. And again, you can start to feel the quality of the fabrics.
Uh-huh. That's always a big one. Texture really tells you everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
And it's not just, I mean, I think you guys should write this book called Finding Gold at the Goodwill because I think that's what this is about. But it's not just the Goodwill. I mean, in many cities now, some of the vintage shops, there's a lot of women who are unloading really high quality things that they've hardly worn. And
Right.
some of them are actually new. Isn't that, do you find that?
We do. We find all the time a lot of clothing that it still has brand new with tags still on it. And it's kind of a rule of ours. We pretty much don't buy anything unless it looks like it hasn't been worn. We never
Oh,
buy anything that looks like it comes from a thrift store. It either has tags on it or you can tell it has been worn once and dry cleaned. I mean, it has to be in perfect condition for us to buy it.
yeah, that was going to be my question is that what what makes you say yes immediately and when you see something, how do you reject it? I mean, okay, so say it's not brand new, but say it looks pretty good. What are the things that would immediately have you say no?
I would say stains, pretty much, or snags or tears or holes. And you know what? There are some stains that you can correct, but obvious flaws is definitely an immediate no. And then also we try to really recreate current trends. So we look for, even if something's older, if it's a quality timeless piece, it works forever.
Oh,
And
that's
so
wonderful.
quality, if something, even if it looks great, if it's of cheap quality, we absolutely pass it by. Even if it has tags on it, it has to be good quality fabric. Once you start thrift shopping and you realize how really far you can stretch your dollar there at a thrift store, you will probably never wear cheap clothing again. It's hard
That's
to go
great.
shop retail and buy, your lower end mall brands, which are fine, for most people. But once you really get into this, you really get spoiled by wearing these nice high quality fabrics.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
and
so
they
true.
wear well on your body. They're going to hang well, look well, lined. There's so many things that really make it stand out on a woman.
And so we go for the more classic pieces, but how would you dress up a classic, something that wasn't this season, but that has potential?
The trends are always recreated. It's you really have just a few basic pieces and cuts, and then if you look at the like in style magazines or Vogue, it's a lot of the same. This season it's going to be skinny tapered pants. Next season it's going to be the wide leg pants, and then it's going to go to a boot cut, and then it just goes back and forth, back and forth. And so you can always find a basic, black pant and whatever the style of the season happens to be it the wide leg, the skinny leg. Pair it with a current top, and you've got your outfit. And no one has to know that your bottoms are 5 years old. And when it's high quality stuff, it can easily last through 5 seasons without showing any wear.
That's wonderful. So confess, girls, what's the oldest piece each of you have?
Oh goodness, I have a closet full of dresses from the 30s, 40s, and 50s.
She's the winner on that
I'm
one.
the vintage
She's the
girl.
winner.
We have to see pictures of those some days. You have to post them on your website or your Facebook page.
Well,
And which ones, how old is yours?
I probably have things from the 70s, but that's about as old. I'm not quite into the vintage
yeah,
as
no.
much.
Pippa has a fabulous. She's kind of underselling herself here. She has a fabulous gown. It's probably from the late 70s, early 80s. It's a Chanel ball gown that was worn by one of the Bond girls at the red carpet premiere of the Bond film.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of
Where did,
chased
I
it.
paid $60 for it,
$60
oh,
for
that is so, no, that's a ton for us. I mean,
Yeah.
we are cheap, 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 and that was just a ton of money.
It
But
where
was
did you
that
find that?
we found it at a local sale here in Houston.
it was
Ah,
a garden sale benefiting one of the garden club of one of the neighborhoods here, and someone had donated it. And so
now,
luckily we got to get a little background information. Usually we don't ever obviously know the story, but that one we did
really.
get the background on it.
Now you say you're cheap, 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 but I know when I go into some vintage stores, that stuff can be expensive. So what's your break point? I mean, where
We
will
are
you not go beyond?
we're spoiled. Our kind of rule of thumb is don't pay more than 10% of what the retail value of the item was.
Really?
So, and we really like to stick to more around 5%. But yeah, 10%, like, if you run across an Oscar de la Renta dress that retailed for $5,000 and it's brand new and they have $500 on it, I mean, that seems like a lot of money, but that is still a phenomenal buy.
Right.
Versus, if you run across a dress that retailed for $100 and they have $20 on it, you're going to want to pass that one up. I mean, unless you just really love it, it's not as good of a buy as, I mean, we really like extreme, extreme discounts, but 10% is our
Yeah.
general rule.
And really, we don't even just shop at thrift stores. We also do online trading or eBay. There's a lot of really great deals that you have access to no matter where you live.
And do you do that for clients or just for yourselves?
No, it's just
For
for
ourselves,
yeah.
when we find a brand that we like, we go online, and I really, there's a few brands for right now, and I am very diligent about looking online for those.
Yeah.
So what if somebody said to you, would you keep your eyes out for me for a pair of really beautiful linen pants or a linen suit? Would you do that for a client or?
We have a lot of followers now,
We
and
don't really have clients, though.
yeah, we don't have clients.
We
Obviously,
don't have a shop, or we don't sell anything.
yeah, we have our friends and stuff like my mother's like,
Yeah,
try out for this. We have
Yeah.
stuff like that. But as far as like, clients or readers, we have so we do get requests like that
yeah,
every week, and there's just so many to try to, keep up with that it really
Yeah.
isn't feasible at this
And at
stage.
this point, we really are dressing a lot of the Houston news anchors, and they're super easy to buy for. Number one, they're like size 0, maybe a 2, maybe a 4 at the most. But and what they have to wear is solid color dresses, so that really makes it easy. But that's fun to dress them.
yeah, yeah.
You
That's the most we do.
You would be surprised if you turned on a local Houston news station in the mornings. We probably dressed that anchor. We have a huge following of these women, and it's
Oh yeah,
fun.
I'll bet. Um, so I want to talk a little bit about accessories. I think one of you posted, was it your daughter, who found some great boots that you did a little refurbishing on. Was that it fairly recently?
Yes, yes. And honestly, just because you find something that's in a little bit bad condition, use some leather polish. There's all different kinds of things that you can do. Actually, you can take it to a shoe repair too, but you can save a lot of money if you do these things yourself.
And so would you bend your rules a little bit for accessories, like for a handbag or shoes? If they're slightly worn, would you be willing to put a little more effort into it than to buy something that might be, than to buy an article of clothing that might be stained or ripped or something?
Yeah. If it's a high end, high quality handbag or pair of shoes, it definitely is worth our time to take it to a shoe shop or take it home and polish it up and we try to get stains out of leather all the time. We find these great handbags that people toss because they ran it up against some paint and we just come home and the paint is pretty easy to come off a lot of times. Magic eraser is a great tool.
It really is. And another thing, for me, my secret weapon is Dawn blue dish soap. Just stick it on. I find white shirts all the time that have little brown stains on them, and I think that's why people get rid of them. And I will let it sit on there for a couple hours, and I might have to wash it 2 or 3 times, but I can get a stain out about 90% of the time.
Wow,
Pippa even
that's
does
amazing.
with wedding dresses and evening gowns. These delicate silk dresses, she will soak them. It blows my mind. I haven't been brave enough to try it, but she does.
Yeah, and then I'll hand wash it and let it drip dry. If you just learn what to do to get those stains out.
And so I'm thinking about those are special occasion things. Um, for everyday things, really nice white shirts or really nice black pants, but you're saying that you do find those things.
Yeah, you absolutely. You'd be surprised. I mean, you probably have it in your closet right now where, something is on sale or it's just an impulse buy. You buy it, you get it home, you don't even take the tags off of it because, it's a little bit different. Maybe try to go with a trend or something. And, it happens all the time. People donate stuff that is in really perfect condition just because maybe they went through a weight gain or weight loss right after they bought it and they sat there in their closet for a year or two and decided, let's go ahead and get rid of this. And so it's these basics still definitely end up in the thrift stores that are in really good condition.
Yeah, or even really high-end denim, which is obviously a staple in every closet. You can find, wide leg, flare jeans, take them to a tailor, spend $10 to $15, and they can make really expensive denim.
That's terrific. That's really good advice.
I've done that. You buy the boot cut, and I think I paid $15 just to have the legs tapered in, and you cannot tell.
You cannot tell. Actually, I even looked at it because I wanted to show my mom. She does alterations, and I could not see it on those jeans that Jen had done.
And they were $200 jeans that I paid $2 for, and they were, other than just the leg was a little out of style, but it was good.
Yeah, everybody needs a really good tailor. I'm so big on that. I keep my tailor in business because I'm a little person and nothing ever fits off the rack. So besides that fabulous Chanel gown, I want you to each tell me what was one of your biggest coups that you ever found. It could be an accessory, it could be a dress, it could be jewelry, shoes. So which one of you is Pippa and which one is
Jen? I'm Jen.
That's what I thought, Jen and Pippa. Okay, great.
My hands down favorite is, I kind of gave an example earlier because it actually happened. It was a brand new with tags Oscar de la Renta dress. It's beautiful and it had the matching little cashmere cardigan. And I think I paid $100 for the entire set. And it was brand new with tags. I looked it up online and the retail was around $6,000 for the whole.
Oh my God.
Beautiful. I wear it all the time.
It does. It looks awesome on her.
Okay, Pippa, your turn.
I would have to say I absolutely love I love housewares. I love dishes. I love that my whole family, every day we eat off china, and it's just, I found beautiful china for under $20. This full hand painted set. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, oh, great. Well, this is inspiring and it's making me rethink. But it takes effort, doesn't it? I think you girls have good luck, but good luck is the result of having a good eye. So is it just that you are both very lucky in this, or are you training? Are you trained?
Oh,
No, it's time. You
it is
know,
time.
we when we go into a thrift store, we plan to spend 2 to 3 hours in that thrift store.
We spent
Whoa.
hours
Yeah,
doing it.
literally going through, every hanger because it would be too easy if you walked in and there was an entire rack of couture clothing for $5 each.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. So,
Mhm.
but they do slip in, and a lot of our stuff we find things that don't have the labels in it. That's a lot of times that's an indicator that that might be high end. For some reason, people love to cut the labels out of clothing, high end clothing. And so, for that, we would go in. If you always look on the inside hem of an item, you can flip it over and look at the care
RN
label.
number.
And then a lot of times it'll tell you,
Use your phone.
use your phone. It'll tell you what the fabric is. And if it's 100% silk or cashmere, then we know this is going to be high end. But yet the thrift store didn't quite catch that because it doesn't say St. John's or something up on the tag. But as far as getting lucky, it just really is a lot of time, and just you do have to know your labels, but that
Yeah.
comes with experience. The more time you spend looking in there, the more you're going to be able to recognize a high end, high quality piece.
Great.
And really, this is what we do every week. Instead of going to lunch, we go thrift store shopping, and we take one day and we take a couple hours. And it is fun. We'll just like choose a new store, a new area of town, and it's just
Ooh.
And,
really fun.
and you have better luck at the larger chains like Savers, Value Village, Family Thrift Center. I mean, I think Savers is pretty much nationwide. We don't have any here in Houston, unfortunately. But anyway, the larger chains, you're going to find more of the high-end stuff that just goes unnoticed.
Yeah.
That's
And we find, we're in Houston. It's a very transient community, and I think that's why we have such amazing thrift stores. People are moving in, moving out, and every time you move, you get rid of, boxes and boxes and stuff. And I really think that's part of why we live in an
Yeah,
amazing
we've
area.
tried to figure out why Houston is so good because we've thrifted everywhere.
Yeah, we go to
And
every city if we go
Houston is
shopping.
hands down amazing.
And I love the fact that you say instead of going to lunch, you go shopping. Because I'm one of those people too. I can't stand sitting for hours with people talking. I want to do something. So whenever I have gone with my girlfriends, we always end up going shopping afterward. But boy, if we had some good vintage stores, that would be so much more fun. So where do you think you want to go with this? Do you want to write a book? Do you want to just do a TV series, or you don't
Our
know?
kind of goal has always been a TV series. We've talked with TLC before, and we've pitched them so many times, and they go and pitch it, and then they come back and go, well, there's really not a thrift market right now.
Fun. I mean,
You know.
we actually do it more as a hobby, and we're both moms, so
Yeah.
we get to do it when we want. We don't have a store. We don't. It's
Yeah.
not a source of income. We have no ads, nothing. So
You just
we're
have fun.
We have
You're
fun.
we
enjoying doing
absolutely
what you're doing.
yeah.
And it's fun to, we do a lot of community outreach type stuff. We dress, foster children. We dress people who are down
Charities.
on their luck.
Charities
And
contact us all the time.
it's a lot of fun. It's fun to see the smile on someone's face whenever you take them to a thrift store. But if you just take them and show them what they can find and how to put stuff together, just a big smile on their face when they walk out with this like new to them
Oh,
wardrobe.
Yeah, and it's teaching them a skill.
Yeah.
We had a whole group foster care home, and it was really neat to take those girls because, they are kind of given the crap from everyone, and we took them, and we have really good relationships with different thrift stores here in Houston, and they just tell us, they honor whatever, we think is valuable, or, a charity or whoever we're working with, they just say, you can have whatever you want to give these people.
Yeah.
So we really have made some amazing relationships.
that is fantastic. It's really great. Because what's the value of it? And the value of it is making people feel beautiful. I mean, that's why we buy these things. That's why we look for them, because they make us feel beautiful. And
Yeah,
there's nothing. I think that's a wonderful thing. I think that's an important thing.
right.
That was a lot of the people that I interviewed the other people I interviewed in my series. A lot of them just said that. Sometimes that's enough, is just feeling good. Especially as women are getting older. You guys are young still when you're my
I
age.
about that.
No, but that really was what was so neat with this foster care girls, because they really are just again, people I think, oh, you're in a foster care system, be thankful for whatever you're given. But we really took them shopping, taught them skills, how to look for quality, how to look for some nice things. And those girls, I mean, it was so rewarding.
Yeah.
And
They
even
were
the
really appreciative.
yeah, and then we also just the Boys at Genesis Works, an inner city program for boys. Now Dress for Success dresses all these girls, but we dressed over 100 boys with navy blazers, khaki pants, white or blue shirts,
And a tie.
and these
Yeah.
boys, 95%, no one in their family has ever even gone to college. It's not based on their grades. It's based on their drive and what they want to do with their life. And that was, again, showing these boys, just because you don't have a lot of money, you can put together this whole interview outfit. You can go out and find a job and make yourself presentable.
And we got lucky. We had about 6 or 7 of them actually come into the store just to, you know, because we wanted to interview a few of them. And just by the time they left, they were like, I feel so proud. I feel so good about myself. And they had their blazers on. And it was just,
they all left saying, we never felt so good about ourselves. And
that's
that there, you know, and that is teaching someone a skill that they can use the rest of their life, no matter what their income level is or where they're at. And Jen and I both grew up having to thrift shop, and fortunately right now we're at a point in our life we don't have to, but we love to. We choose to. We absolutely choose.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Bless you both. That's just wonderful. I'm inspired. And boy, if I'm ever in Houston, I'm going to find you girls and just follow you around.
Love to take
Come shop with us. Come shop with us.
And so, tell us the Facebook page and your website again.
So our website is www.toocheapblondes.com. So Two Cheap Blondes, and then our Facebook is Two Cheap Blondes as well, and Instagram Two Cheap Blondes. So
wonderful. That's so great. Well, Jen and Pippa, thank you both so much. This is really fun, and I know people are going to really appreciate this. And yeah, whether economic times are good or bad, everybody loves a bargain.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Yes, thanks, Andrea.
Thank you so very much.